Have you heard? It's truck news.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
That's right, it's the Truck Show. Have you heard? This episode of the Truck Show podcast is proudly brought to you in partnership with AMSOIL, the maker of the best synthetics, and the same ones we use in our rigs. Did you know that AMSOIL is more than just synthetic oil? They also make some of the finest lubricants, greases, additives, filters, car care products, and yes, even merch. The current promotion ends today, April 7th. It's a free car shampoo with any $100 purchase. Please go to the Truck Show podcast website and use our link. We use AMSOIL products to protect our rigs, and you can do the same by heading over to AMSOIL.com. Through our Truck Show podcast link, of course. Do you need a knife? Then head on over to Kershaw.kaiusa.com and explore their line of exceptional pocket knives. They have a huge selection of quality knives from EDCs and Made in America knives, as well as automatics. Score one for yourself today. And if you want to treat yourself to the latest in adventure gear and upgrades for your vehicle, go to OVRmag.com and use the code @TruckShowPodcast for a discount on print or access to our digital library for 1 year for free. The Truck Show podcast survives off of sponsorships and your reviews. Please help me to keep it free by supporting our sponsors and leaving reviews and comments on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Have you heard? Oh, man, I just love that. All right, so the New York Auto Show just happened, and Hyundai just did a big old mic drop there. So we've been telling you that Hyundai is calling it quits on the unibody Santa Cruz because they desperately want in on the body-on-frame pickup truck market here in the U.S. So this truck, which doesn't have a name yet, will be a mid-size pickup that comes with features that, according to Hyundai, will solve many of the problems with the current mid-size trucks, like rear seat room. To prove a point, they dropped a huge reveal at the New York Auto Show, which teased the truck without showing the truck. It was the Bronco-like Boulder concept, which previewed the flexibility of the body-on-frame platform, showing it can be more than just a pickup. While the pickup is said to arrive before 2030, Hyundai is currently busy drumming up the hype. The design language, which was dubbed Art of Steel, to me kind of looks like a futuristic Bronco Raptor /FJ/Xterra. A love child of those three, I'm not sure, but it was designed here in the U.S., showing how important the U.S. market is, and it hints at the design direction of the new pickup. The Boulder features an interior with switches and tactile controls, reconfigurable and modular smaller displays. Instead of one giant one, a full-width heads-up display at the base of the windshield, and even safari windows over the first and second rows. The concept wears 37-inch rubber with aggressive proportions. It has a solid rear axle, and it has some great approach, departure, and breakover angles, and even includes a full-size spare on the tailgate. The tailgate, of course, is special because it's double hinged to allow it to open in either direction. So Hyundai is getting incredibly serious about this body-on-frame platform. It's going to spawn a number of vehicles, including SUVs, in addition to the pickup truck, and it might even do a SUV that is more rugged and durable than the current Palisade, but maybe not quite as off-roadsy as the Boulder. Maybe it'll do all of those things. So keep your eyes peeled because there's a lot to come from Hyundai, and I know they are pulling out the stops to get this one right. So the Ram and Fox Factory vehicle tie-up, well, it's been a good test. So we all know the new Ram street truck is coming, and we know because of the rumors. We know by Ram's own Mopar creation, the Dude, at SEMA, as well as the 650 horsepower Fox Factory Ram that also recently debuted. But we also know some things that it won't be. It won't be a single cab. Obviously, there isn't a single cab generation of the current DT platform, and there won't be a 6.4 liter in the pedestrian Ram 1500s. But according to The Drive, in an exclusive interview, Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis said the recently announced supercharged street truck collaboration between Fox Factory and Mopar is a quote-unquote test of what the market acceptance will be. He continued, I'll be honest with you, the reception I figured would be good, and I'll tell you why I figured it would be good, but it was actually even a little bit better than what I thought. So the question was asked, will we see a street truck with a Hellcat? Kuniskis didn't answer directly, but he did provide some insight. He said, if you look at today, shockingly, I will say, admittedly, the North American Truck of the Year was the Maverick Lobo. So it tells you there's some interest in that space, not only from consumers, but from journalists, for that to be the North American Truck of the Year. Is there something in that space? I definitely believe there's something in that space, and not because of the Lobo, or not because of the Fox Factory, but because of what people actually buy, and this is where it gets interesting. If you look at the muscle car space, if you look at Camaros, Mustangs, Chargers, previously Challengers, if you look at that space and then you look at the truck space, for every person that buys a muscle car, there's 10 people that buy a truck, right? So it's exponentially larger. It's a bigger net in the industry because of how useful trucks have become. So he wouldn't confirm a sport truck is on the way, but reading between the lines says something is coming. And will that be in the form of the 650 horsepower Fox Factory style truck, or a 395 horsepower 5.7 liter dude-inspired truck, or something more outrageous like a TRX for the street? Well, all that remains to be seen. It doesn't hurt the case for Ram with Ford getting the drop on them with the F-150 Lobo, or the popularity of trucks like the Roush Nightmare, or Ram's own legacy that includes the Hemi Rumblebee, or even the Viper-powered SRT-10. So there's another space to keep our eye on. We know it's coming. Don't quite know what it'll be yet, but the hints are coming fast and furiously from the top floor in Auburn Hills. So here's a good one for you chassis cab fans. Ford's Super Duty chassis cab is about to get pretty luxurious.
Right.
No, it's true. Starting with the 2027 model year, you will now be able to spec your Ford Super Duty F350, 450, or 550 chassis cab with the top-of-the-line Platinum trim.
You're a lying sack of shit!
No, it's true. This gives foremen and business owners alike, or even successful hotshots, a truck with the Sync 4 infotainment system on a 12-inch screen, an available B&O sound system with 14 speakers, trim-specific grille and LED fog lights, and body-colored door handles. However, you do lose in the translation from pickup to chassis cab a few features that require the bed, such as the 360-degree camera system, and some other ones like adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane keep assist, and Pro Trailer backup assist or hitch assist, and a moonroof. Trucks also keep the chassis cab powertrain options, which have been derated for durability. So the 6.7-liter Power Stroke will make 330 horsepower and 950 pound-feet of torque, while the 7.3-liter gas Godzilla V8 will make 335 horsepower and 468 pound-feet of torque. So where do we see the most interesting application for us? For me, I think it's the overlanding rigs that use the chassis cab as the foundation for a habitat on the back of the truck. Until now, you haven't really been able to get a luxurious cabin to go with your very expensive overlanding rig, and a lot of companies like the chassis cab better because they don't have the kick-up in the frame rails. They're flat all the way across, which makes adding accessories, whether it's fleet or a habitat, on the back super easy. So I can definitely see a market where somebody says, you know what, I need a 450, but I want to have a nice interior to go with it. So now is your chance. So the 26 Durango 6.4 liter is back, and it's actually, well, dare I say, affordable? The new Durango RT 392 is priced at just $51,990. All right, that's enough, you guys. All right, so the new Durango RT 392 is going to slot between the 360 horsepower 5.7-liter V8 version and the 710 horsepower supercharged V8 powered Durango Hellcat. The SRT 392 was last offered in 24, but as the RT 392, it returns with almost all the same stuff. It gets the same 470 horsepower, 470 pound-foot of torque power rating as before, and coincidentally the same power level as the Wrangler 392. The RT also uses the same 6-piston Brembo brakes up front and 4-piston brakes in the rear, along with the same adaptive suspension as before, and a rear electronic limited-slip diff, performance exhaust, and 295mm wide Pirelli Scorpion Zero rubber, all part of the package. And check this out, it can still tow 8,700 pounds. So that bests GM's full-size SUVs as well as the new Armada. And standard equipment includes Napa leather-covered heated and cooled, highly bolstered sports seats, 392 badging, and then there's some exterior design tweaks like unique wheels and a unique spoiler. A new premium package will bump that price up to $59,590, which is still great, and includes a sunroof, suede headliner, carbon fiber interior accents, more leather trim, an 18-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, a trailer tow package, driver's assistance tech, and two-piece brake rotors. While it's no longer a quote-unquote SRT product, it's basically the same vehicle that said goodbye in 24, but now at almost $25,000 less than before.
Wow.
I got to say, we are living in interesting times right now. But if it were me, this is the Durango to get. It's sort of the sweet spot of the lineup, especially with price as well as power. And the older version of this SUV did 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. So that is a lot of fun. And, of course, these are all-wheel drive. As a side note, as we mentioned before, Durango is once again available with the V6, mostly because they couldn't make enough V8s. If you remember, they originally said this is going to be a V8-only product, and we said so on the news. But with pricing like this, I think we know why they had to add the V6. Now, V8 pricing didn't change, but with the V6, there's now a lower entry point into the Durango. And I got to tell you, the Durango is one of those vehicles that's a little bit long in the tooth, but has aged incredibly well. It's still a really nice vehicle. It's basically a 3-row Jeep Grand Cherokee without the off-road bits, and it's a great ride even today. So what do you think? Durango 392, is it for you? truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. And Nissan Xterra info continues to trickle out in the latest news. The Xterra will be an ICE V6, no full electric version. It sounds like it'll spawn a potentially ICE V6/hybrid version down the line. Sadly, no manual is planned, but it will be a rugged body-on-frame designed to be affordable and fun. And yes, it will come in yellow. So trucks are getting more affordable, but are there other fees compensating for the lower base price? We all know how destination charges, which are a mandatory shipping fee, can alter the price of a new vehicle, and essentially because it's a mandatory fee, but it's not really priced as part of the vehicle, that depreciation hit is immediate and basically just shipping from the factory to your dealer's lot. And everybody pays it on every vehicle. However, we're watching manufacturers bring down entry prices of some of these trucks, and I think they realized they got a little bit greedy, and they're right pricing a lot of products, but if you've been paying attention, they're also raising destination charge to offset that. So Ford and GM have now elevated their destination charges for pickups and large SUVs to $2,795.
Whoa! That's not right.
And if you get an Escalade, it's $2,895. Manufacturers, of course, say these fees are always evaluated to cover shipping costs, but these fees have gone up nearly 50% in the last 5 years. For now, Toyota and Ram are a little bit less at between $2,095 and $2,595. But this is just a way to offset increased tariffs or production costs? What do you think? Let us know. All right, before we end the show, let's find out the latest in recalls.
Check engine light just went on. Noise under the hood ticks like a bomb. Recall covers metal, glass, leather, and plastic. Door handle pulled off in my hand. Just fantastic.
This one belongs to the Jeep crowd, which affects 80,620 22 to 23 Grand Cherokees and 21 to 23 Grand Cherokee L SUVs, which is the 3-row long wheelbase version. The problem's this: the rear coil springs might have been incorrectly installed and may detach from the vehicle while driving. Jeep thinks it only affects 0.5% of those vehicles and is aware of 20 customer assistance records related to the defect, along with 284 warranty claims. Owners of affected Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L models should have already received their letters last month. And if you're curious, the recall is 20D. And Jeep drivers looking for confirmation can either visit their dealer or input their VIN in the NHTSA search tool to see if it's included. That's at the website for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Truck Show Podcast. Have you heard? If you want to follow us between shows, check us out online on social at Truck Show Podcast. Send us an email, truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. And if you want to be part of the show, leave us a voicemail, 657-205-6105. And one more time, I'd like to thank the companies that make the Truck Show podcast possible, such as AMSOIL. If you go to truckshowpodcast.com to the featured product section, you can click the link. That's our special link that will give us credit for your sale. But if you spend $100 or more by April 7th, you get the foaming car shampoo for free. It's pH balanced. It's safe for wraps. It's a great product. I use it all the time. And the foam it puts out is awesome. So thank you, AMSOIL. Of course, if you're looking for a new knife, kershaw.kaiusa.com. Pick yourself up a new folding pocket knife today. Or you can go to OVR Magazine, ovrmag.com, and use the code @TruckShowPodcast. Get yourself a discount on print or access to our digital library for a year for free. And of course, don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. All right, it's been great. Look forward to doing it again real soon.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.